Hi, today we got a Honda Pilot that has a leaky valve cover gasket, so we are going to change that today. Some signs that you might need to do this are your spark plug and coil may have blown up. That's what has happened to two of my vehicles with this engine. I had a Honda Odyssey do it, and now this Honda Pilot where a spark plug basically blew up, or the coil blew up in there because oil was leaking into the spark plug tube hole, and then it just um, eventually destroys it and causes you problems. You'll have a misfire, and you'll have trouble getting your coil out. I have a video on fixing this. I'm going to put it right here, I hope, if I can figure out how to do that. If not, it'll be linked in the description. But we're going to get started on this repair. It's very similar to the Honda Odyssey since it's the same engine. So this should work for about, I want to say it's like 2005 to 2010 models. So hopefully you find this helpful. Hopefully you get your vehicle fixed and back on the road. Let's get started. All right, first things first, this is your front valve cover, and you have one on the back here. So we need to take this guy out in order to get to those. I'm going to separate the throttle body from the intake. I'm going to disconnect this. Nice, that was easy. Sometimes those plastic gets brittle and breaks. I'm going to disconnect this as well. Take this hose off. I'm also going to, while I'm doing that, take this hose off. I'm actually just going to take one side, leave this on so I know where it goes. And take that one off right there. I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. You're just going to need some little pliers to squeeze these little tabs. Pretty easy to wiggle them off. Worst case scenario, if you have trouble getting these hoses off, these hose pliers are pretty nice to, you just wiggle it back and forth and pull back, and it usually does the trick of breaking that seal and sliding the hose off. Alright, so I actually couldn't get this one off from that way, so I pulled it up from that side. Either way works fine. And just a little tip, whenever you pull these off, I think it's a good idea to put dielectric grease in them when you put them back on, so just keep that in mind. Maybe grab some when you're shopping for parts. Okay, so I actually ended up taking my whole air filter housing out because, first of all, it was ripped, so I needed to replace it. And second of all, I just think it made it easier to get to this. All I had to do was disconnect a hose here. There's 4 Phillips screws in each corner there. And then this clamp, which you can see that mine was like, this is part of the housing that I have to pull off, but it is like burnt on there, so I'm gonna have to dig that off. But then that helps us get to the throttle body. So we got the 2 on top, 2 nuts right here, and then there's 2 bolts, one here and one right in here. There's the 4th one right there. So it's just 4, and I believe it's the 13 metric. I thought after I got those 4 things off over here that this would just pull off, but it is not, and I'm thinking that it's just because it hasn't been off in a long time. So I'm going to move on and see if when I get this whole intake off, if that gives us a little more wiggle to, like, I don't know, we'll see if it is stuck or what. But next thing you're going to do is take off this cover. These are 10 metric, and I think that technically they're going to want you to take them off in a pattern. I'm just going to crisscross or whatever, just treat it like every other head gasket type thing, which this is not, so I don't think it should be a big deal, but I usually just do that just in case. Alright, we got that taken off. There's a gasket in there, so don't forget about that. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier, which I like to do anytime I'm opening up the engine like this, is I usually blow this off. Like if you have an air compressor or some way to blow air, blow this off and try to get as much dust out of here as you can, just so that nothing is falling into the engine as you're working, which I forgot to do. So hopefully you watched this before you started and you have a chance to do that. But if you didn't, it's probably not a huge deal. Just try to be clean as you go. Next, we're going to take these out in here. I'm trying to get it so I'm not blocking my light. So we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7, 8, 9, 10, I believe. I think I got them all there. But basically just take all the U-bolts and nuts that you see there, and that's going to take this intake off, and that will expose the head underneath. So these ones are 12 metric. We also got this plug right here that we need to undo. All right, and we got to take, I already got the top bolt out here. There's one on top, one on bottom. We got to take those two out so that this will come off when we pull this up. Next step here, first of all, I put tape over the heads here to make sure that nothing falls in there. You don't want anything falling there. That would be a real bad time for you. So I would do something to cover that up, whether you put some lint-free rags in it or tape it, whatever you want to do, cover it up. Next, we're going to try to get this bar off from our front valve cover. So you got 10 millimeter, 10 millimeter. You have to undo these clips, and then there's two clips down here, one right here and one right here that you have to undo, and then you might have this guy here that you squeeze the back side and pull this out, and then this whole harness should be able to lift up and set it aside so that we can get to the valve cover. Alright, so this last connector right here was a super bear for me. Hopefully it's not for you. I had a lot of gunk down there because that's where a major part of the leak is, but it was the one that was right over here. I unhooked it, got it unhooked, but then I couldn't get it off from the metal bracket. You got this tab that you either push or pull. I'm still not even sure. It took me so long to get it off. I think you want to pull out on it because you can see the metal slips in right here, and it's kind of hard to see on camera, but this tab, when you push down, it pushes the tab more into it. So I would think that's not, I think you want to pull out and push down, like on the, with it connected to the metal, and it will pop off. But that was terrible for me. Hopefully it's easier for you. But now that we have that off, this literally just set it over there out of the way, and you have all this room to work. So now you're just going to take each of these coils out, and then we're going to take the valve. I'm going to also take out my oil stick, and then we just have the actual valve cover bolts, which we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, if I didn't miss one there. And you want to kind of go in a star pattern on this one too, I believe. Alright, so I got this off. If you have trouble after you get those bolts out, you can use like a plastic trim tool like this to kind of get under the edge and try to pry up a little bit and go around on the corners and pry up, and it should pop right off. As you can see, my cylinder 2 was going to be a problem really fast. So it's a good thing that we're doing this. I already had, this was the one that actually blew up and had the spark plug blow up and the coil explode in there. But, and you can, like, if you could feel this, this is hard plastic, and it obviously is ripped. That is not doing anything, and you can see that in here, it definitely had oil been linking in there and burning in there, because you can tell a big difference between these ones and that one. And if you look at the coil, you can see this is that coil, and it's definitely got crap on it compared to this one's was recently replaced. So that one looks nice. This looks like it's definitely been burning. So anyways, this engine is all gunked up. This is absolutely disgusting. I'm gonna do my best to try to clean it up the best I can while we're in here. Man, this is just like, it's just grit in there. I don't know. I bought this not that long ago, so I don't know what happened before I got it, but clearly it was not taken care of very well with how much grit is in here. It's like someone poured a bag of sand in there. I'm surprised that this is running that well. To me, that's really just a testament to these engines. They will run and run and run and run. Even if you treat them like crap, they will power through. But if these seals for the spark plugs fail, that's when you start having problems, because they explode in there. But we're gonna move on to cleaning up our valve cover, which is disgusting, and replacing this and replacing those seals in there. So alright, next we need to pull these seals out. I have a seal puller here that I'm gonna try to use. They can be quite a pain to get out, so you just have to try your best not to scratch the edges here. Try to use plastic if you can. but this usually works pretty good to get under here and pry up. That's my plan. Okay, I got my gaskets out. It was, the seal puller did not work at all because my gaskets were just so in such bad shape that when I got the seal puller in there, I'd get it in there, and when I lift up, it would just tear. It was not working well at all. What I ended up doing was I took this skinny flat screwdriver, put it right on the edge, pounded it down a little ways, trying not to bottom out to here, just here, pried it in, and then went through and pulled it in, and then grabbed it onto with needle nose pliers and pulled it out. These ones were especially bad, which makes sense. This is the cylinder that already exploded. I'm guessing that one was going too soon. So hopefully yours are easier to get out. This one was easier, obviously, that's why it looks clean. It was still sealing. But I'm gonna throw this into just a trash can of degreaser and just see how much of this gunk I can get off. I took the solenoid out right here so that we don't mess that up, and I'm just gonna throw it in and see how clean we can get it. All right, while I am soaking my valve cover in some degreaser, trying to get that cleaned up, I'm gonna move on to putting new seals on these. So how I'm taking these off is I'm splitting this apart, which I don't know if I can do with one hand. I'm splitting this apart and then cutting the rubber off, and then this metal just slides right off. It makes it really easy. I'm gonna get all those on, and then we'll put the new ones on. Easy to put back on. You just put it on here, put it on a socket, like a deep socket like this, and just tap it with the hammer a few times until that slips over that ridge. Usually I would finish the front before I move to the back, but I'm waiting to try to degrease the top of this. So if yours isn't that bad and you're not letting it soak for a long time, then probably finish the front, skip to the part where I do the front cover and come back to this. But because I am on a time crunch and I want to let that degrease a bit because it has a lot of crud on it, I'm gonna start working on the back. And I'm gonna start, we need to loosen up this. I'm gonna got a plug here, a plug here, a plug back here, and this hose right here that I'm gonna take off first. Next, we're also going to unhook all these coils, all these connectors here, and then we have a bolt right here for this harness, and then we also have one right here next to that hose that you just took off. So we're going to take those off, and then I believe there's one more. It's that guy right there that I think is for the power steering. So I need to take off those 3 10mm bolts and unhook all your coils. Alright, I got this cleaned up. I'm pretty happy with the results. I soaked this in purple power that I just had. I had a bunch of it just that I bought a long time ago and hadn't used. So I thought I'll try soaking that in there. Make sure that each of your things here where you're putting your seals in are all cleared, that you don't have any rubber left over. I think mine are pretty good. And then you're going to set these in. It's going to go this side up. So the U side is going down. So they're going in there. And the way to get these, you want these all the way seated, and you want them flat so that they seal around the spark plug tube very well. So I have 1 1/8 and 1/8 that fits really well. I'm just going to set it on there, give it a couple taps until it's bottomed out around the whole thing. But you don't want to rip these or damage them, so you want to be pretty careful when you're trying to tap them in there. Just do your best to be gentle, but get it all the way down. Once you got your gaskets installed, put on your outside gasket, make sure this tab is up so that it's a flat surface, and then we're gonna slide it on. I like to put a tiny bit of oil in here to help it slide over the spark plug tube. You can do that or you cannot. People have different opinions about whether or not it's good to do or not, but I figure oil is going to come in contact with this anyways, and it's better to not have it rip. when you're sliding it on. Remember that your short one goes right here. The long ones are the other four. And you want to tighten these down to 8.7 foot-pounds. Alright, now we got all our coils out. We are going to start taking the bolts out. So we got 1, 2, 3 here. Then we have 1, 2 in the back. We got this one and this one in the back. Also gonna take this little bracket off so that we can get a little more play in our harness. You also got one more harness clip down there. That green one, I already took mine off. It's right there. That gives you just a little bit more play. I wanted to show you this ignition coil that I pulled out of the rear. This is exactly why we're doing this repair. You can definitely tell the oil has been getting in there. It's all gunked up. This one is still wet even because, yeah, this would have definitely caused some significant problems in the near future. So I'm happy we're getting this done. If you have any coils that look like this, it's not a bad idea to also change out the spark plug. Definitely change out the coil and probably the spark plug as well. And before you pull that spark plug out, get a lint-free cloth and try to clean up that tube in there. And then once you feel like you got as much of that out, as much of this gunk out as you can, then put in your new spark plug and hope that it does fine. But it should be fine if you try to clean it up the best you can and put a new one in there. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like when there's a leak in the tube. So I got that back one out. I will say it is not easy. You're going to be fighting with this the whole time, trying to get it up and over the hump here. So pain in the butt. But once you get that out, you get it all cleaned up and put your new gaskets in. When we put it in, we have a joint here and a joint right back here where we need to put gasket maker to seal this crack here because there's a machine joint right there, a little crack. So Honda recommends their Honda Bond. You can just use the gray gasket maker. This is the stuff I'm using, ultra gray gasket maker. So you just put a little P right here, a little P on that back side, and get your cover in there as quick as you can and get it torqued down as quick as you can so that it can dry torqued. So it takes 24 hours to cure, so you might want to not drive it for 24 hours after you get that installed. Up to you. But that's the last step. Then you just reconnect everything, put everything back how you found it, and you're good to go. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe. That helps us make more videos, and I should have more Honda Pilot, Honda Odyssey videos coming in the future. Hope you got your Pilot running, and stay independent out there.